RushMoreRick, and today the chill dude will be explaining the social rules that everyone follow that are actually stupid. Let's go.
Let's get right into it. Number 6, the how are you farce. Someone asks, how are you? You know they don't actually care how you are. It's a verbal handshake we're all forced to do. It's basically the human equivalent of dogs sniffing each other. We're not actually asking how someone is. We're just doing this weird social dance to fill awkward silence. The correct response is always, good, how are you? Even if you're literally on fire, that's the expected answer.
It's weird because in most cases you do get a response, but sometimes it's some weird. It's like, hey, how you doing? Like you're passing somebody. Like you could be walking down the street, you make eye contact, you don't want to be awkward. You say, hey, how are you doing? But both people continue to keep walking. So you don't get the answer to the question, which I always thought one of the most weirdest interactions was always the beginning for like, how are you doing, or like, because typically you say good, or I'm okay, or I'm all right, or I'm doing fine. It's always those three responses to me. That's how it always went when I find myself in those type of interactions.
And then they have to say good back, even if they're also on fire. It's basically two people lying to each other's faces.
But most of the time, not everybody's good. Like every time you ask somebody how are you doing and they say good, 7 times out of 10 they're not good. They just had the shittiest morning. They popped a flat on the way to work. Somebody took a shit in their coffee, and their dog is chewing their furniture at the house as we speak. But I'm good.
Everyone's okay with it. Scientists found that our brains spit out this response in just 207 milliseconds. Your mouth is on autopilot, spitting out, I'm good,
Literally.
Before your brain can even ask if you are. And the weirdest part is, if someone actually answers honestly, like, well, my cat just died, my wife left me, and I just found out I'm allergic to pizza, suddenly you're trapped in a conversation you never wanted. The person who asked stands there, their eyes darting around, looking for the nearest escape route. Their brain screams, this isn't how this is supposed to go. They were supposed to say fine so we could move on. It's like they've broken some unwritten rule of society. How are you really means, let's acknowledge each other's existence without getting into anything real.
Exactly.
And I'm good means, yes, I understand the rules of this game. So next time someone asks you, how are you? Remember, they don't want the truth. They want you to lie to their face so they can lie back to yours. Number 5, obligatory gift stress. Gift giving has turned into this weird social hostage situation. You're not giving gifts because you want to anymore. You're giving them because if you don't, Karen from accounting will never speak to you again. And somehow, the better you know someone, the harder it gets to buy them something.
Exactly.
It's like the universe is playing this cruel joke where knowledge of someone actually makes you worse at picking gifts. Consider your mom who says,
it's weird because I find that to be true in some cases, because there's some people who you give gifts for, and no matter what you give them, it could be the last Jolly Rancher out the pack, and they'll love you forever. And then there's some people that you just simply cannot please because whether they own everything or they don't really want anything. I'm one of those people. I feel like a gift to me is kind of just like, if I get one, I get one. If I don't, I don't. But I'm appreciative. But at the same time, I will say I am very hard to give for, just simply because I'm fine with it, and I'm fine without it. Not too high, not too low on it.
I don't need anything, but will definitely judge your life choices if you actually get her nothing. Take the knitted sweater phenomenon.
Yeah, don't not get nothing, because some people it's just the effort behind it. But if you get nothing, then it's just like some people will hold that shit against you for years.
Someone spends 40 hours knitting you this thing that looks like a rainbow threw up on a sheep. Maybe it has 3 arms, glows in the dark, and plays jingle bells when you squeeze it. But now you have to wear it, because they might drop by unexpectedly. And if they catch you not wearing their masterpiece, you'll trigger a family crisis. You put on your best fake smile. Oh wow, it's unique, you say, while dying inside. We're playing an expensive game of pretend, buying stuff for people who are buying stuff for us. It's basically laundering money through gifts. I spend $50 on something you don't want, and you spend $50 on something I don't want. We could have just kept our money and bought something we actually wanted. Then there are the
or give each other the money. That's why a lot of people do gift cards. I fuck with gift cards. I don't think I've ever really gotten gift cards as a gift, but I fuck with gift cards because if you don't know what to give somebody, just give them the cash option, give them the freedom to get whatever they want to get. Both parties are happy. You gave them something, and the something that you gave them, they're able to get what they want within that budget. It's fair.
I made it myself gifts. That's not a gift. That's emotional blackmail. Because now you have to display that terrifying ceramic cat they made in pottery class. The one with the wonky eyes that seems to follow you around the room. We've all mastered that fake, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I wanted face. Meanwhile, we're collecting stuff we'll never use. Like that drawer everyone has full of random gifts they're keeping just in case the gift giver visits. All because society decided we need to prove our love through mandatory consumer transactions. It's basically a friendship tax at this point. And the worst part is we all know it's stupid, but we keep doing it anyway. Number 4. Germ warfare handshakes. Every time you shake someone's hand, you're participating in an ancient ritual of microbial warfare. The handshake started way back when people were stabbing each other. It was a way of saying, look, my hand is empty, no knife here, we're cool. You'd stick out your right hand to prove you weren't hiding a weapon. While you're busy proving
I'm iffy on handshakes these days. Like, I don't shake too many hands. Like, simply not ever since the COVID thing, that was like a real eye opener with germs and shit like that. But I've always been cautious of touching people. I don't like touching people, and I don't like to be touched. Even something as simple as a handshake, to me, is kind of it's overstepping it. Only because a lot of people, like I'm starting to realize, a lot of people don't wash their hands, like in public places. They touch a lot of shit. They touch their face, their mouth, their nose, their ears, their ass crack. Sometimes, like whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, people's fixing wedgies throughout the day, and then after, like they don't even have the common decency to slap on some hand sanitizer. They're not washing their hands. They're not cleaning their hands. So touching people, especially within a handshake, is always iffy. Fist bump. I advocate. I'm a proud advocate for fist bump. Fist bump everybody. He get a fist bump. She get a fist bump. Unless they're family, unless you're like locked in, you don't need to be shaking hands. Unless it's your, I was gonna say unless it's your boss, but fuck all that. Even some bosses is dirty as shit too. Fist bump is the answer.
you're not armed, you're actually swapping trillions of tiny germs. Every handshake is basically a microbial party where bacteria jump from one person to another. It's like Pokemon trading, but with bacteria. Medieval knights would grip each other's hands super hard, checking for hidden daggers. Meanwhile, they were sharing more germs than two kids sharing a lollipop. Modern scientists tested different greetings. Handshakes spread way more germs than fist bumps or elbow taps. A fist
I would not lie to y'all. Look, one thing about me and this channel, when I speak, it may not be the thing that you want to hear all the time, but I will always do my best to tell the truth. I will not lie to y'all. He just said it himself. Fist bumping and shoulder bumping transfers way less germs than the traditional handshake. I don't give a fuck. Where that handshake shit came from, it is dirty. Do away with it. Y'all lived through the pandemic just like me. We're not being dirty anymore. Stop shaking hands. Fist bump. Or even a hug. I feel like a hug is cleaner than a handshake. I might be wrong. I don't know. But I just feel, like I said, I feel. I preface that with I feel.
bump is amateur hour for germ spreading, but a good old handshake is premium germ delivery service. Next time someone extends their hand, remember you're not just greeting them. You're adopting their entire hand ecosystem. They might not be carrying a sword, but they're definitely carrying a few billion microscopic friends ready to party on your palm. We keep doing it, even though we know better. Number 3, the bless you ritual. Every time someone
Ain't nothing wrong with bless you.
sneezes, we all turn into mini exorcists without even realizing it. Someone nearby lets out a sneeze, and suddenly everyone within earshot feels compelled to bless them. It's like we're all part of some weird cult that believes sneezing opens a demon portal. Back in the day,
Nah, it's just, I feel like, no, it's just a polite thing to do. Somebody sneezes, you say bless you. It's a polite thing to do.
people genuinely believed that when you sneeze, your soul could pop right out of your body. They worried about souls taking a quick vacation through the nose. And if your soul was out there floating around, demons were apparently just hanging around waiting to snatch it up. So saying bless you wasn't just being polite, it was a quick emergency exorcism to keep the demons away. During the plague years, a sneeze was basically a death sentence. Pope Gregory IV even made it official church policy to bless sneezers. It was less Gesundheit and more, please don't die and infect us all, and we're still doing this ritual today. Even atheists perform these tiny verbal exorcisms without realizing it. We only do this for sneezes, not coughs, hiccups, or burps. Apparently, demons were picky about how they stole souls. If you don't say bless you, people look at you like you've committed a crime. So next time someone sneezes,
And I'm one of those people. Like I feel like that's one of my pet peeves. Like one of the little instances that get me tight because, quite frankly, I don't need a bless you from a random person or you know what I'm saying. But it's like, damn, if I'm constantly around you and you sneeze and somebody doesn't say bless you if it feels intentional, it feels personal. It's like, damn, I sneeze and you don't even got the common decency to say bless you. That shit happens to me at work sometimes, and they get me a little tight. But at the same time, I'm also one of those people. When I sneeze, I say "bless you" to myself. I know it's to me, it's not weird. Some people may find it weird, but at the same time, nah. You gotta bless yourself sometimes. If you're not gonna be there for yourself, who is? Come on.
remember you're not just being polite, you're fighting off invisible demons. Number 2, the necktie noose. Imagine walking into a job interview wearing a perfectly
Never wore a tie to a job interview in my life, and I think I've gotten every job I interviewed for except for maybe one or two. True story.
good suit, but your tie knot looks like it was tied by a drunk octopus.
And I wore a clip on, like when I was in high school and I went to a prep school and we had to wear ties. The few occasions that we did, I wore that motherfucking clip on, boy. I'm not about to be sitting here. You know what I'm saying? I'm dadless as shit. Dadless as shit. Never learned how to tie a tie. Still don't know to this day. I'm going to learn because I got a son now. So I want to teach him how to tie a tie. And his first tie, I'm going to tie, and he going to know how to tie a tie. But at that point in my life, fuck I look like trying to learn how to tie a tie. Get that clip on. I might even get that clip on now. I ain't gonna lie.
Suddenly everyone's looking at you like you just showed up wearing a clown costume, because apparently in the professional world, your entire career depends on how well you can tie a fancy knot around your neck. The necktie started as a practical piece of military gear soldiers wore to keep their collars together, but somehow it evolved into this weird test of professional worth. Society collectively decided that your ability to tie a decorative noose proves you're good at your job. There's even a whole hierarchy of knots, each with its own social status. There's the simple four-in-hand knot, basically the Honda Civic of tie knots. Then there's the fancy Windsor knot, the BMW of neck strangulation, that screams, "Look how important I am." If you show up with a Windsor knot, everyone assumes you're some kind of business genius. Like, oh, look at Brad over there with his perfect triangle knot. He must really understand those quarterly reports. Schools even teach kids how to tie these things, like it's some ancient...
No, they do not. Show me a school that has tying in their curriculum, and I'm gonna show you why the school is failing. Show me a school that has this teaching kids how to tie a tie, and I'm gonna show you why that school is failing.
Martial art. Today, young grasshopper, you will learn the sacred art of not looking like a slob, because apparently, your future success depends on mastering this completely arbitrary skill. People actually judge your competence based on this. Walk into a boardroom with a slightly crooked tie, and suddenly everyone thinks you can't handle their million-dollar accounts. It's basically the corporate version of a gang sign. It's literally a piece of fabric designed to restrict blood flow to your brain during important meetings. Maybe that's why so many bad business decisions get made, and yet we keep doing it. Because nothing says, "I'm a serious professional," like wearing a silk noose that serves absolutely no practical purpose. Number 1, the Salary Secrecy Pact. There's this unwritten rule that you're not supposed to talk about your salary with coworkers. It's like Fight Club, but instead of fighting, you're just being poor.
That is true, and I never understood that, but I could see why, because I always get when the topic of pay starts to get tossed around. I've only got weirded out in one instances. Quick story time: when I used to work at a Planet Fitness, I was an assistant manager, and I was getting paid more than the people that was under, just general front desk workers. And for some reason, around that time that I had that position, New Jersey had just made it. I don't know if it was like a mandated law or ruled, but everybody was getting an additional dollar. I got an additional two, but I wasn't allowed to say it. But I was, but I wasn't. Like, it was just like a weird thing because me and my boss would talk comfortably because I know he was making money. He knew I was making some decent money, and everybody underneath, I had no clue really what they were making because I didn't handle the books. I just, you know what I'm saying, clocked hours, when did people work, when did they didn't. But at the same time, it is like a weird one of those weird social stigmas where it's like, let's not really talk about pay. We can if you want to, but one of us is going to be unhappy in this conversation. So do you really want to have this conversation? No, you don't. So let's just avoid it. I think it's one of those instances right there.
Or together. Companies love this rule because it lets them pay Bob twice what they pay Sarah for the same job. And Sarah will never know.
And I didn't even think about that too. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, when men and women are talking about pay and jobs, and especially if you're doing the same job, it's kind of, those lines get a little iffy, lines get crossed, things get a little blurry because you don't want to make somebody feel less than what they are for doing the same exact job as you, but they're getting paid less because they're a female, you're a man, or you're a female and they're a man. You know, it's a little fucked up, but
because talking about money is unprofessional. This started because companies wanted to keep workers from comparing notes. If nobody talks about their salary, they can pay people whatever they want. It's like playing poker where only the house sees the card.
Is that like a contractual thing? Because I've never, to my knowledge, I never realized that.
Some companies even try to make it official policy that you can't discuss your salary, which is actually illegal in most places. Companies can't actually stop you from discussing your pay, but they've managed to make it so awkward that most people won't challenge it. They've essentially gaslit the workforce into thinking money talk is taboo. We'll tell complete strangers about our weird medical conditions. We'll post our entire life story on social media, but ask someone how much they make, and suddenly they act like you've asked for their nuclear launch codes. Meanwhile, the CEO's salary is public information, but Karen from accounting might faint if you ask about her hourly rate. There was one company that decided to make all salaries public.
Man, I feel like in these examples that he using, Karen from accounting, motherfucker, I feel like if we all know, if you're in a job that you know that you're doing well off, more times than not, it's the people around you are also doing very well off. Unless you having these money conversations with the janitor or some freelance worker that you know is well beneath the average employee. I feel like it's unnecessary. Like, sometimes it's unnecessary to ask or have those conversations of how much are we making, because we know we making money. We making money.
Everyone freaked out, thinking it would cause chaos. Instead, people just started getting paid more fairly. The pay gaps between men and women suddenly got smaller. Turns out, when you can't hide behind secrecy, you actually have to pay people what they're worth. The only people who benefit from salary secrecy are the ones writing the checks, and they're definitely not keeping their mouths shut about their yacht collection. That's all.
That's true.
All for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.
Like you said, it's a lot of weird social rules out there. A lot of them. And we blindly follow them just because it's just the way of life, you know? Like with the whole initial interaction with the how are you without even getting a fucking real answer or an answer at all, because you could just be bypassing a stranger. But one of my favorite social rules is hitting that like button, commenting on the video, and subscribing so we can grow this channel. I'm trying to make this shit as big as I possibly can, and I cannot do that without the help of all you lovely people. Thank you. That was one of today's videos. I'm out. Deuces.